The emergency transmission cut through the usual diplomatic chatter on all Galactic Council frequencies. High Admiral Trell of the Vexari Confederation stood frozen before the holographic display as the message repeated itself. SOS, Deathworlder, fleet mobilizing. Numbers exceed previous estimates. Defensive protocols failing. Request immediate assistance. Trell's outer membrane pulsed with anxiety. In 300 cycles of service, he had never heard such naked fear in a council transmission. Trace the origin, he ordered. Lieutenant Reed, the only human on the bridge, looked up from her console. Sir, it's coming from Outpost Sigma-9 near the Sol quarantine zone. Humans. Trell's voice dropped to a whisper. They're supposed to be contained. Reed shifted uncomfortably. As one of the few humans permitted to serve outside the quarantine zone, she represented the Council's attempt at integration, a diplomatic experiment that now seemed dangerously naive. The outpost is going dark, sir, another officer reported. Last telemetry shows multiple Earth vessels breaching the barrier. How many? Trell asked. At least 700 capital ships, sir, and more launching. The bridge fell silent. The quarantine zone had been established 50 Earth years ago after first contact revealed the horrifying truth about humans. They had evolved on a Class 12 death world. Their biology was reinforced to withstand crushing gravity, poisonous atmosphere, extreme temperature variations, and constant exposure to radiation. Their immune systems could defeat microbes that would devastate most Council species. Their endurance was legendary, but most concerning was their psychology. Humans had somehow developed advanced technology despite spending most of their history fighting each other. The Council's xenopsychologists theorized that this contradictory mix of cooperation and conflict made them uniquely unpredictable. So the quarantine had been established. Earth and its immediate system would be sealed off. Limited diplomatic relations would be permitted. A few humans like Reed would be allowed to serve in the wider galaxy as cultural liaisons. It had worked for half a century, until now. Get me the Council, Trell ordered, and find Ambassador Jones. 10 minutes later, Tom Jones appeared on the bridge. Unlike Reed's crisp military bearing, Jones carried himself with a casual confidence that always unsettled Trell. You, called Admiral? Jones asked. Trell gestured to the display. Your people are breaking quarantine, in force. Jones examined the data, his expression unreadable. I need to contact Earth. You most certainly will not. Trell's membrane flushed, deep orange. This is an act of war. With respect, Admiral, something's wrong, Jones replied. Earth wouldn't break the treaty without severe provocation. Let me talk to them. Lieutenant Reed spoke up. Sir, we're receiving a wideband transmission from the human fleet. On screen, Trell ordered. The image of a human woman in a dark uniform appeared. Gray streaked her hair and her eyes held the hardness of someone accustomed to making difficult decisions. This is Admiral Garcia of the United Earth Defense Force. We acknowledge. We are in violation of the Treaty of Proxima. We do not seek conflict with the Galactic Council. We are responding to an emergency situation in the Arcturus sector. Multiple colonies have gone silent. We have reason to believe an unknown hostile force is sweeping through that region. We attempted to contact the Council but received no response. We cannot wait while our people die. Jones stepped forward. Admiral Garcia, this is Ambassador Jones on the GCS Vigilant. Can you share what you know about this threat? Garcia's expression softened slightly at the sight of another human. Tom, glad to see you. We've only got fragments, but it's bad. The Arcturus colonies went dark one by one over the last 28 hours. The last transmission mentioned some kind of psychic attack that overwhelmed their defenses. No visuals of the enemy, no survivors so far. Trell interrupted. The Council has defense forces stationed throughout that sector. If there were attacks, with respect, Admiral, Garcia cut in. Your nearest meaningful force is 2 weeks out. Ours is 2 days away. We're going with or without permission. Jones turned to Trell. Sir, I believe them. Humans are many things, but we don't typically invent pretexts for war. Not anymore. Trell's antennae quivered as he considered. The human fleet had already breached the quarantine. If he ordered Council forces to engage, It would mean all-out war with a species evolved to survive on a death world. But if there really was an unknown threat in Arcturus. Admiral Garcia, Trell said finally, I cannot officially authorize your actions, but I will not impede your fleet. I will inform the Council of a potential threat in Arcturus and recommend investigation. That is all I can offer. Garcia nodded. Understood. We'll forward any intelligence we gather. Garcia out. As the transmission ended, Trell turned to Jones. If this is some human deception, it's not, Jones said quietly. Admiral, you've established the quarantine because you fear what humans might do, but you've never stopped to consider what we might do when we're afraid. 3 days later, the first reports arrived from Arcturus. The human fleet had engaged an unknown species with powerful psychic abilities and biotechnology far beyond council science. The aliens had already consumed 3 worlds, processing all organic matter into more of their kind. The humans fought like the Deathworlders they were. Where council tactics failed against the psychic attacks, human ships kept fighting, even after communications were severed. Their neural diversity, once considered a weakness by council psychologists, made them resistant to the unified psychic assault that had devastated other species. One by one, the reports painted a clear picture. The galaxy had been saved by the very species it had quarantined. 2 weeks later, Trell stood before the Galactic Council, Ambassador Jones at his side. The quarantine of Earth is hereby lifted, the Council President announced. Humanity has earned its place among the stars. As the Council chambers erupted in discussion, Jones leaned toward Trell. You know, Admiral, there's an old Earth saying, good neighbors build good fences, but when predators come, you want the dangerous species on your side. Trell's membrane rippled in reluctant agreement. The galaxy had changed forever, and the Deathworlders were now its defenders.